Hello, friends, welcome to Dots of Destiny. As the summers are here, my destination has changed. I am out of my place. As you can see, the area is different. Anyway, this whole summer I'll continue making videos from my I'm moving to and fro to different cities, Calcutta, Mumbai, and all. Anyway, I hope you people are doing well. And Om Namah Shivaya. And today is the 1st of May that I'm making this video for the month of May, and also for the transit of Mars in Aries. That is the main topic. Now, May month, I suppose, is going to be a very dynamic month. It has pockets of events for each and every ascendant, because not only Mars is going into Aries, which is a new beginning, which is a dynamic thing that happens whenever Mars starts its journey from Aries onwards. More so, Mercury is also in Aries, which is a very fast forward moving Mercury into Aries and then into Taurus from the 15th of May. So obviously for the Gemini and the Virgo people also, there are certain developments that are going to happen very fast in the month of May. Also, Venus will be in Taurus and then it will move into Gemini. So Venus is also forming nearly a conjunction, nearly with Jupiter in Gemini, then both together meets actually in Cancer in the month of June. So from May month onwards, I can see a very dynamic, if I say, a lot of changes, a lot of dynamism coming back into the life of every individual, every ascendant, which was very much missing with the Saturn Mars combination happening in Pisces. So obviously in the month of May, Saturn is also moving into Revati, but I am not immediately making that video, as whatever Saturn will deliver result will also depend on the condition of Jupiter, because as Saturn is moving into Revati from the 17th of March to the October end, I think 10th of October, something like that, Jupiter will move very fast into its exaltation Cancer and have a drishti on Pisces, aspect on Pisces, which is actually great. The ninth aspect of Jupiter will be on Pisces, and that is why the results will not be the same as Saturn was in Pisces until now. Whatever result we had been getting, it will change with the aspect of Jupiter, and it will be modified to a large extent. So that is why that comes a little later. Yes, Revati brings a lot of karmic release, no doubt about that. But let's talk about here the month of May with a sudden push, a sudden energy, and you will see every ascendant in whichever area this Mars is entering in your horoscope, especially for the fire sign Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, obviously Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. It is going to be a game changer. I hope it brings a lot of action which had been missing for very long in your life. And obviously, as I said, for the Mercurial ascendant, obviously there will be changes, because Mercury will have two changes in the month of May, and also definitely for Taurus and Libra, as Venus will be changing sign from Taurus then to Gemini, then having a conjunction with Jupiter. So obviously Venus and Mercury change will greatly affect and very well affect Aquarius and Capricorn also. So having said all these things, let us begin with the jump of the fiery planet. It is quite a hot and fiery month, no doubt about it. Mars is going to be different in this May month. Yes, there can be some violence. As I hail from West Bengal, we can see the pole happening and also some geopolitical reasons will creep up because Mars will become too fast and too aggressive in Aries in decisive mode. So definitely at the mundane level we will be able to see some discomfort that is also there. Not everything is good when Mars is raring to go on a fiery mode. Nonetheless, for all the ascendants, I feel there will be some pocket, some corner to look forward to, some part of missing dynamism coming back to your life with a bang. Let's jump into the times. For the Aries ascendant, Mars is definitely moving on to your Lagna. Now, see, as you begin the month of May, already Sun and Mercury is on the Lagna. It is a very important conjunction that is happening. Other than because Mercury is the sixth lord, there can be short distance journey, the third lord also. If there is some litigation or something, some diseases, some kind of a thing, some pith kind of a thing, disease at this summery month, which can bother you a little, as Sun and Mercury is that kind of a planet, and also then Mars coming on the Lagna, creating quite heated up situation for you. Obviously for Aries it is a time, a beginning of something, no doubt about it. Something or the other, as minuscule it can be, but it will bring some beginning into your life. There is absolutely no doubt about it. So because whenever Mars, I have seen 1.5 year it comes to Aries, it's a beginning, the ignition, the point of ignition of Mars begin from Aries. Scorpio Mars is a very different energy. The Aries Mars is a very highly dynamic energy. You can feel very raring up to go. Opportunities can come to your life, as you know, because Sun will move into the second house. Venus is already there in the second house. Money making opportunities, some opportunities that you have been looking for, you have been thinking when things will knock at your door. All these things can happen in this time when Mars is coming into Aries. So I mean, see, this is no way bad time for you. That is first to be understood. You are waiting for this transit, and this transit is happening beginning in the month of May. And also Jupiter will change his sign. That will also have an effect on your fourth house area. But the main, and because Mars aspects will be on your fourth house, then on your seventh house, and then on your eighth house also. If there is some kind of a inimical thing going on, some property disputes, those can also see the light of the day. It can make you go to different places. There can be journeys, there can be new projects coming up, new real estate projects. You can also, because later Mars will come into Cancer and will have a Neech Bhangam. So all the initiations that is supposed to happen will start from this point when Mars is in Aries. Just one caution is that because Mars is on the Lagna and aspecting the 7th and the 4th and the 8th, these three areas are quite sensitive area. So in that kind of a charged up situation which Mars creates for you, the Lagna Lord, you should not go overboard unnecessarily. Suppose what happens is that when it's a good time, we feel that let us exert the pressure, but understand that this Mars will have a long stay in Cancer and Leo this year and next year. So there can be situations regarding the household matters, the progeny matters, which you have to deal, your name, fame, maybe your stock market, maybe your investments. Many things are coming up. So take what I'm trying to say, take the best of this transit. Do not be in unnecessary rush. Obviously Mars will make you do things. It is that kind of a planet. It will not let you sit back and relax and do nothing. But whatever you are executing, it should be to the point. That is important. because 12th house matters, Saturn being there, and now Jupiter will be aspecting this Saturn, will start some movement in the month of May itself, as Mars will be crossing the Gandanta from the 12th house to the first house. New things will start, some old things will start going away from your life, whether you like it or not. So you have to take all these things in your stride, and you have to, be structurally dynamic, like the Mars exalted. Why Mars exalted in, I'm talking about, is that you will have the gusto of Aries, you will have the fearlessness of Aries, but you should adapt the structural attitude of the exalted Mars in Capricorn also, so that the project, whatever you start, the things that you'll start, will see the light of the day and can continue for you in a very good manner, and it gives a boost to your life going ahead in 2026 itself. So it's a very good transit, there is no doubt about it, and I feel the Aries people are already feeling some kind of, some kind of thing inside them, that now this is going to happen and I will be able to execute it. So best of luck, Aries. Yeah. Okay, Taurus. Taurus, the transit of Mars is happening in the 12th house. So this is your, the 7th lord in the 12th lord in the 12th house. The thing is that here some expenses will be there, and that is the only issue of Mars being in the 12th house. Now see, understand, there is a point over here. Venus is on the Lagna when Mars is coming in the 12th house in Aries, and also slowly Venus will move into Gemini in the 2nd house. Lagna lord and the 11th lord Jupiter making a conjunction in the month of June, not in May, later part of May, exactly last, I think, Venus makes some moves in Gemini from 26th of May, if I'm not wrong, but last 10 days of, I think, nearly, that Venus will make a move in the 2nd house. It is a good Dhana Yoga, but understand one thing, Jupiter, being your 8th lord, is in the 2nd house, right, and it is aspecting the 8th house with the Lagna lord, and the 11th lord Mars is in the 11th house. Now these two together, when you see, you will see something, expense that may be good, you have already thought of, that is now getting executed. Maybe a simple travel with your partner, maybe some kind of things, that is because Ketu is in the 4th house, there will be some home affairs that you are shifting, you're going, this is a time of transfers, a new place, new situation, all these things. So Mars's journey in the 12th house, it can go to very extremes. I've seen some people, Mars in the 12th house, they are very, very miserly, they're very miserly, because malefics in the 12th house, sometimes 12th house is philanthropic, giving, they block that situation. For some people I've seen that very much happening, but for others I have seen that they have suddenly spent money and later they feel that the money is lost. So here comes the theme, because your 5th lord Mercury, from now as I'm speaking, making the video, is already in the 12th house with Sun. Your investments should be under check at this point of time. Mercury will come into Taurus from the 15th of May onwards, then it can be a better situation. But before that, when the first few, from the 1st of May to the 10th of May, Mercury and Sun will be in your 12th house, which is the 4th lord and the 5th lord and the 12th, not good for education, not good for competitive things, not good for any kind of investment. Now along this conjunction, for the next 5 days, when Mars crosses the Gandanta of Revati and comes into Ashwini in the 12th house, the expenses or the losses can suddenly trigger. So that is why it's a very precarious time for you. It's not a bad time, it's a precarious time. Why? I told you already, Venus and Jupiter conjunction will be there. Venus will move for the last 10 days of May into the sign of Gemini, where it will not exactly meet but in a conjunction with the 8th Lord. So, all these are monetary things coming into your life, and also there can be expenses which you have to make, maybe, or maybe. So if you have to make, you have a calibrated way of making, but if you are careless about things, it can suddenly wash away your money. So that is a thing very much. Here the career of your partner, whoever is your partner, the 6th house from the 7th is the 12th house, the career of your partner can also see some changes when the 7th Lord Mars is in the 12th house in its own sign. It can see some new beginning, some new ending, some disturbances may happen for your partner's career also. 12th house Mars, another problem is that it can bring in sudden conflicts and disputes, because from the Lagna or moon we call it a kind of situation which is not very wanted, kind of. So be careful of all these things, as Mars will aspect the 6th house, and also these are little bit disturbing kind of a thing. It is aspecting the 3rd house, the 6th house and the 7th house, Scorpio itself. So for you Taurus ascendant, it is not, I cannot say it's a very good transit for you. It's a tricky transit for you. Mercury from the 1st to the 15th of May, when it is in the 12th house with Sun and Mars, not a good time for investment, for love affairs, for your progeny, for any kind of education. All these things are not favored. When Mercury comes on the Lagna from the 15th of May to the end of the month of May 15th to 30th 31st, then it is a good time for you. It is a better time. Your intelligence will work better with Mercury on the first house to the later half of May. But nonetheless, Mars will be in the 12th house, so any litigation, any disputes, any unnecessary spending of money, all these things should be taken care of, and tendencies should be curbed. And if anything has to be done, then you must be able to understand how much you are spending, what you are doing, and all these things in a calibrated way. So it's not a bad thing that is happening, but it's a more caution oriented approach that Taurus ascendants has to take at this point of time. So take care. Gemini ascendants, Gemini people, it is the 11th Lord Mars in the 11th house, and before that Sun and Mercury is making a Buddha-Titta yoga in the 11th house in transit. So it's a good time for you, Gemini. Basically, if you had been looking for things that you wanted to fructify, then definitely those will happen. One thing about this transit of Mars in Aries is that 11th house Mars is great, no doubt. It will bring you gains, no doubt about that, but it aspects your 2nd house, and that drishti is Nicha. So be careful with the expenses may rise and you may spend money. That can also happen. Why? I'll tell you, because Mercury from the 1st of May to the 15th of May will be in the 11th house. Then Mercury will go into the 12th house for the later half of the May month. So some expenses which are maybe you wanted to do and you have to do now, you want to do now, to all these things can happen. So very good transit for you, no doubt. 11th Lord in the 11th house, then Lagna Lord is also now in the 11th house with Sun. In between, Lagna Lord is coming into last end of this month of May in the 12th house, then it will come on the Lagna. So it is definitely very dynamic time for you, Gemini ascendants, no doubt about that. Just be careful with your relationship front, as Mars will be aspecting the 5th house. 5th house Mars aspect is not good if you are in the childbearing time, if that kind of a situation is there. Also the 7th aspect on the 5th house. Also, if you are in a love relationship, there can be, as you know, Mars is your 6th Lord also. So there can be troubles over there. Investments, if you're doing, is not very good. Gains from other things are good, not into the share market or that kind of an investment is favored, because the 6th Lord in the 11th gives a great scope in competition, Great, very good for competitive things. If you are looking for a competition other than the period when Mercury is in Taurus in the 12th house, it is a great time for competitive examinations, for getting some betterment in your professional area, some better gains from there, some transfer which gains you. All these things are favored, sixth lord in the 11th. So it is a gusto time, it is a go-getter kind of a time. Two precautions what is required at this point of time is that Mars is aspect. The aspect of Mars over here is a problem, because remember, it is not a very favorable planet for you. It's a Trishadaya lord, right? It's a 6th and the 11th lord is Trishadaya. So that's why, though it is Upachya also, so growth it will give, but growth is not equal to very good for the relationship front. So the aspect of the Mars in the second house is not much favored, and it's a Nicha aspect. It can take out some money from your savings due to whatever reason. The aspect of Mars in the 5th house is not good for your investments, for your tradings, or for your progeny, for childbearing time, or for your love matters, all these things. It creates disputes over there. Aspect of the Mars on Scorpio is good, because here it will obviously give you much edge with others, especially if you are going for any kind of comparative examination in the office or in the educational area. So best of luck for the Gemini ascendants. It is a great transit is very good, no doubt, and I hope that you are able to get something better out of the Mercury, which was debilitated, and with Rahu for a long period of time. These transits are the time when it gives us boost to the area that is required. So best of luck, Gemini people. Cancer ascendants, the oh, it is 10th house lord in the 10th house Mars. So what do you want more? Already as I'm speaking, you have Sun Mercury in the 10th house. Buddhaditya Yoga in the Kendra is absolutely good. It gives you the energy, it gives you the intelligence, it gives you the hope. And then obviously, as Sun Mercury will move into the 11th house and Mars will come into the 10th house. Now for many Cancer ascendants, it will be a time of change for professional things that takes get going. For a long time, Cancer ascendants had been stuck. There is no doubt about that. The 8th Saturn, then the 9th Saturn, because 9th Saturn is better than 8th Saturn, no doubt, but still Saturn slows down. Wherever it goes in the Bhagya Dasha, and because it is a 8th Lord, it slows down matters also, and suddenly it gives you something. And so now that you have to juggle with. Here Mars, 10th house Mars behaves very well. I'll tell you why, because Mars is in Capricorn kind of an arrangement over here. 10th house Digbala, originally it gets in the Kalpurush Kuntli exalted in the sign of Capricorn. So here is Mars for you to change the 10th house matters, whatever you were stuck in for a very long time. So, see, it's a great time. Other than that, Mars will have a debilitated drishti on the Lagna. So whenever these things happen, you can feel that I want to do it as fast as possible. No, do it in a structured way. Mars only problem sometimes is that it goes a bit faster than required. The times that we are living in is not very easy, as we know. Yes, you can go faster, but when you falter, then you look back, and then you feel, why have I done that, or how can it be rectified? So before getting rectified, it is a dynamic time. Let the Mars settle down a bit over there. It will cross the Gandanta of Revati and Ashwini, and then take some 5 days at least to settle in the initial degrees of Ashwini. And definitely this Mars will change your trajectory, and I'm very clear about it, very clear. See, it is the thing about Mars over here is that it is in the 10th house, then it will go to the 11th, the 12th and the Lagna, and will stay again in the Lagna. This year, Cancer ascendant, especially for you, Mars will be staying on the Lagna and Leo again for a very long time. very, very long time, starting from September 2026 to June 2027. Just imagine Mars being in Cancer and Leo for a very long time. So, whatever initiation, Aries is initiation of a thing. What you start in this month as Mars reaches Aries will reach the culmination. Whatever, suppose you join a new job, you got for a transfer, you got a new post, you start a new beginning, you start a new project, whatever. It has to face Cancer and Leo this year. So that is very, very much, that is the thing that you're waiting for. So why I'm saying this, because Mars will go back and forth with Jupiter also. It will be on the Lagna, then it will be in the second house with Ketu, a big transit of Mars, and it is your yoga karak. It is here to give you better. It is here to give you better, believe me. Now see, this 10th house Mars is aspecting the Lagna. Go slow, because it's a debilitated aspect. Go slow in the sense, go steady with a structured attitude, and do not go too much overboard in the situation when we know that Saturn is now reaching Revati and Jupiter is now coming on the Lagna. Why to go very fast and spoil the thing? Not required. You will get your share, you will get your thing, and slowly in a structured way you should run the show. The seventh aspect of Mars will be on the fourth house. Some changes at the home, some property related things, all these things can happen. Some quarrels can also at the same time happen at the home front. And also the eighth drishti of Mars is in the your fifth house. Here progeny related matters, your investment related matters, and all these things will go for a strategic kind of a development, because Mars aspect in Scorpio is secretive development. Here you don't spill the beans to the people around you. You don't do that. You keep it to yourself, and then you carry out the project, because that the fifth house matters, I'm saying, because Scorpio is a secretive sign, and the aspect of Mars on its own sign in Scorpio will make things happen in a very secretive manner. So this is the arrangement of Mars that is coming off for you. It is a great month actually. I hope you are able to make justice, and your dasha is a little bit bestowing on you good results due to this Mars transit, and also Sun Mercury in the 11th house. Venus will be in the, now it is in your 11th house, it will go to the 12th house, and then it will come on the Lagna. So situations are very good from the 11th, from the 10th, 11th, 12th house and the Lagna. Be careful, be methodical, be structural, have a plan and execute the process, whatever you're looking towards. It will give you good gains in the long term to come. Great going, Cancer people. I hope you have a great time ahead. Yeah. Okay, Leo ascendants. For Leo, Mars is coming into your 9th house. Okay, so the 9th lord, the Bhagya lord that had been settling in the 8th and the 7th for long, is now coming in the 9th house. Yeah, there will be relief, no doubt about that. There will be new learnings, there will be new beginnings, there will be journeys, there will be some good decisions making. Over at this point of time, because Mars will be aspecting the 3rd house. This 3rd house aspect of Mars is your Purusharth. Mars aspect in the 3rd house in Libra will make you take calibrated decisions. Yes, the 4th aspect of Mars in the 12th house is debilitated aspect. So may be, as I've told you, it's a traveling, learning. You can spend something more than usual on this. It may happen, so it can happen, but it is not it can happen. The amount you want to spend goes a little overboard with the Mars debilitated aspect on Cancer in the 12th house. But the learning that Mars provide over here, because Sun is also in great dignity. Sun Mercury, as Mars will be entering, is already in your 9th house. Then it will go into your 10th house. Jupiter and Venus combination in the 11th house. Leo, this is a time I think that you had been waiting for a very long time, and it's a great time to learn, to rejuvenate, to go for some travel, to learn from travel, higher studies, to develop new relationship with people. because unless and until Mars was free of Saturn in the eighth house, people, whoever, if you're, suppose you're doing a business, it will not go very well. It will not be taken in a smoothness. Here, the smoothness returns. That is very important. And because Sun is also in a great shape, with the 10th house sun, 11th house sun, all this, and 12th house sun, I do not consider too good. It is good for spiritual upliftment, Cancer sun, but sometimes it can give you health or other emotional related issues. Then Sun comes on the Lagna with Ketu, so that is far away. But as of now, this transit of Mars will bring some new beginnings, new structural things in your life that you had been waiting. The rhythm, ninth house is a blessing. The rhythm, the blessing that you felt was missing for a very long time, February, March, April, 3 months, will come back. The grace of your life will come back. So it's a extremely important and good and healing, I will say it is a healing kind of a process. So that's really great actually. I don't know, I mean, what more to add, because this Mars will go into Cancer, then I mean, it'll first go into your 10th house, it's a 9, then 10, then 11, then 12th house, where it'll form a Nij Bhanga with Jupiter. Lot of things is going up, lot of learning, lot of spiritual greatness into your life, lot of healing, lot of understanding the depths of life, and also you will not lose your dynamism, as Mars will ultimately reach the Lagna and Ketu will move away from the Lagna. So this point onwards, from the month of May, your journey, a new kind of journey you are beginning. Whatever may be the mundane level things that is going on, which may be not very pleasant, not all the time very comforting, but you will be able to move with a conviction. So that is very important. Your father's health can be better, your bosses can favor you. Any kind of thing that needs a little bit of luck, that will be given to you by this Mars, the ninth house Mars. I do not believe Mars plays a great role in understanding religion. It makes a person a little hedonistic, very cutter. We say that in Hindi. So Kattarpanthi, but that is how the planet is. It takes you in its stride, but it's a most yoga karak for you. Ninth Lord in the ninth house is a real blessing, and I'll not add here more. Take care of your health, because still you have the 8th Saturn over there. And later I'll talk about Jupiter as it moves into Cancer, aspecting this Saturn in Revati. That video will come later. But as of now, this dynamism is very, very important for the month of May as it is beginning. Take care, Leo. Great time ahead. Yeah. Virgo ascendants, Virgo people, the transit of Mars is happening in the 8th house in Aries. Okay, now see over here, first and foremost, in the beginning of the month of May, already you have the Lagna Lord and the Sun, the Mercury and Sun combination in the 8th house. Some plans over here can see some little bit of disruption. From the 1st of May to the 15th of May, as Mercury will be in the 8th house, you have to recalibrate and readjust your plans a little bit, because later Mercury will obviously go into Taurus from the 15th, later part of May, later 2 weeks of May, it will go into Taurus, and then it will come to your 10th house. But before that, some calibrated way of thinking in a different process is required when the Mercury is in the 8th house. Mercury is not a bad planet in the 8th house. The problem is that Mercury is a very flexible planet. 8th house is a dark place where sometimes a person, whatever we want to do, is not done in the same way that we have planned. A sudden disruption happens, and then we again have to concoct the plan and come up with something new or a different to execute that. That is a problem with your Lagna Lord in the 8th house with Sun. In the first 15 days of the month of May. Then Mercury moves to the 9th house with Sun. Venus moves to the 10th house with Jupiter. These situations are good, no doubt. One thing is that the problem with Mars in the 8th house, because for you and the Gemini ascendants, Mars is not at all a great planet, because it is the 8th lord for you and the 3rd lord. So again, I see, you do not, there can be sudden things that are not very comforting for you, to say the truth. Mercury's transit into Taurus before that, first 15 days of May month, you should be very careful with your health, with certain decisions that you may have to take, with certain developments that can happen in your life, which may not be very comforting. So think about that and execute it properly, and do not be in a rush. This is, you cannot go in a rush time with Mars in the 8th house. You will commit mistakes then, especially if you are running a bad dasha, especially if you are, because it is a second house. Mars can bring in, it can, because Saturn is in the 7th house and now Mars is in the 8th house. You have two malefics back to back in the 7th and Rahu in the 6th. So for you, this time of Mars, especially the month of May, is not easy, because whenever I have seen these three most malefic planet, Rahu in the 6th, Saturn in the 7th and Mars in the 8th, you will be under pressure. That will happen. Now I cannot say anything different, because this is how it is. For most of the ascendants, it's a very dynamic time, but for you Virgo people, I am telling you this because you have to have certain boundaries, or certain, you have to be cool at this point of time, for there can be sudden problems in the 6th, 7th and 8th house, like your work area, maybe your relationship area, maybe marriage or something, or with your in-laws, or your investments, or you're going for you want to get some money from insurance or anything. These 6th, 7th and 8th house is a little bit messed up at this point of time for you Virgo people. Yes, it is like that, but that is how it is happening. Obviously, when Jupiter goes into the 11th house and Mercury, Venus all comes into the 10th house, 11th house, things are a little better, but you have to be very careful when Mars enters into Aries from the 11th of May to 23rd of June. That time, especially health wise, again, malefics in the 6th, 7th and 8th can sudden give health related issues. Now please do not say I'm telling negative. I'm a Leo ascendant. Same thing happened for us also. When Mars is in the 6th house, Rahu was in the 7th house and Saturn is in the 8th house. There had been problems, there had been health issues. People have come up to me. I have faced that. When I know certain thing, how much negative it is, I will say. That's it. And if you write that kind of comments, I'll delete it. Simple. So because what is had to be said has to be said. I cannot sugarcoat things. That is not my way of doing things. It is a problematic time. Take it in that way. Problems will be solved if you are if you take caution regarding that. Otherwise, the problem can go haywire and flare it up on your face. Things. When things are not right, we has to be utmost patience is required to deal with that. So yes, this is not a great time for you. I want to say it's a great time, but no, it's not. So take care of that and keep yourself healthy, wealthy, and have a good May month for you Virgo people. For the Libra ascendants, the month of May is all about your partner more than you, actually. So because Mars is entering Aries, the 7th lord is in the 7th house now. And before that also, now Sun Mercury is there in the 7th house. It's a good time for business related things, definitely. If you are, because many Libra people are business oriented, so this is a good time for dealing with business things and striking up a deal and all these things. Even your partner in some way can really get some kind of important decisions going in his or her life, or some new beginnings, new chapter beginnings in his or her life. So That is very important when Mars comes in its own sign in Aries, some new beginning. If there is a marriage kind of a scenario in your life, that can also very well happen, because Jupiter will also favor that in exaltation. So this is a good time for you as far as relationships are concerned. Obviously, because Mars is very fast planet in Aries, there can be sudden fights also, but nonetheless the planet is in its own house, so not bad. Now Venus over here is now, as we are talking, is in your 8th house. Some kind of change you are going through, and have heard from at least 4 Libra people, that there is some kind of a change happening at the professional front. Now they are also feeling they will also have to go through some change. That can very well happen for Libra people, as Venus is in the 8th house at present in Taurus. Then it will go to Gemini, and it will meet not exact degree conjunction with Jupiter, but it will meet Jupiter over there, and then both the planets will be reaching 10th house. And Mars, its a fourth aspect is also on the 10th house, which is a debilitated aspect. For some Libra people, there can be a relationship and professional change that is happening at the same moment of time. Now the professional change will also be not bad, but initially, because Jupiter Venus, that I'll talk about, this conjunction is not exactly, they are opposite kind of mentality planets, so there can be some kind of a churning in that is going on in your professional area, and which you have to solve with your wit and with your understanding. That's why this ingress of Mars in Aries can actually, it will have a full aspect on the Lagna. Now when Mars enters the 7th house and aspects the Lagna, and Venus Jupiter is having a conjunction in the 9th house and 10th house, you may want to go for taking some very fast forward decision, as Mars will aspect the Libra sign, your Lagna. You will want to, and the 9th and the 10th house will be having planets like the Lagna Lord and Jupiter, the 6th Lord. There can be some changes that is seen. You are going for a fast forward movement with those changes. Be careful, only understanding that Saturn will also enter Revati Nakshatra in your 6th house. So whatever endings and beginnings, that this Mars will bring in some beginnings, and Saturn will go in some endings. So how it is adjusting with your life conditions and all, that is very important at this point of time. Obviously it's a dynamic time for business oriented people. New deals can be cracked up. For marriage people, marriage can happen, because ultimately Mars is the point or the factor where the marriage happens. That is why we call mangalik situations, good situations, mangalik situation at home. So always manglik is not bad, but 7th house Mars can give sudden very close attraction to the partner, and also sudden conflicts also with the partner. So it's a overall not a bad transit. Obviously the Lagna Lord slowly going towards the 9th house. Overall month of May, if I put it, there will be changes, and the changes will come in with some beginnings that you have to go through, and in the process you have to end certain things. That is how the month of May will be for you, Libra. So this is a very important month where you're in the juncture of the change, because Venus is still in the 8th house when Mars enters the 7th house. The Lagna Lord in the 8th house and the 7th Lord in the 7th house. So you are going through some change, maybe because of your business, maybe because of your profession, maybe you're getting married, maybe your partner tells something which you have to carry it out with consent of both of you. So it's a change for you. The change will be subtle, yet you will feel the change. And then Venus going in with Jupiter, there will be a little delay in the process of decision making, because Venus and Jupiter are very different kind of planets. Their decision makings are also very different, but ultimately the thing will happen. That is what Mars is here for in the Aries, to start something new. So take care of this transit, take care of your health. Seventh Mars can sometimes give some acid related problems or stomach issues also. Take care of your health, otherwise it is the month will have different flavors. I cannot call it bad or very good. It will be a mixture of different flavors. Best of luck, Libra. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio people, Mars, the Lagna Lord, is coming into the 6th house and aspecting the Lagna. So it is aspecting the 9th house, it is aspecting the 11th house, 12th house, and the Lagna. You are raring to go. After a long time, you are feeling that some kind of confidence is coming back to you, which is a good thing. But see, one thing, because the time is changing for you, the time is going for better. Mars is coming in Aries in the 6th house, where Mars can very well deal with Rogrin Shatru, with competition, with educational pursuits competition or professional competition, all these things. But understand, Lagna Lord is also aspecting the 12th house. There can be certain losses if you go very fast, because dynamic Mars has just one problem: it wants to rush. That is the only thing that you have to remind yourself again and again for the new beginnings that is happening for you when Mars is entering into Aries. And what happens, see, when Mars is aspecting the 9th house, with wherever Lagna Lord aspect also goes, it is good, but it's a Nietzsche aspect. So if you push very hard, things will not immediately happen until and unless Jupiter makes the gochar into the 9th house. You had been in a very stagnant state, because Mars position was like that. It was exalted last in the 3rd house and then went for a conjunction in with Rahu and then with Saturn. Abysmally poor level performance of Mars had been happening for the last 3 months, from February, March, April. You're frustrated, no doubt. But you have to understand, in the frustration, if you have not been making any movement for the last 3 months, or you are unable to make a movement, then now the movement will start. There is no doubt about it. Mars comes into Aries, a new beginning in some form or the other in your life will definitely happen. No doubt about that. Now, making a new beginning and creating certain mistakes and making a havoc out of it is not needed. You follow the things, make a structured approach which will help you very much. A structured approach will be great at this point of time for you, and that's so that, because Mars will be reaching ultimately the 10th house, there will be a big gochar of Mars in the 9th and the 10th house, and Jupiter also will go into the 9th house. Now things are forming for you, what I'm trying to say. Obviously Mars has certain challenges in the 6th house. After all, it is Rogrin Shatru, right? Then in the 7th house, which Mars Maran Karakstan, then the 8th house, then it goes into the Nicha position in the 9th house, but gets a Nij Bhanga from Jupiter over there. It is challenging, but it's a growth oriented time for you. Calibrate the process. Whoever has taken, for Scorpio people, I'm telling, many people have taken unnecessary decisions when Mars had been in conjunction with Rahu and Saturn, because they could not sit with patience. They have created some kind of a problem. Now they're approaching me for. So that is how planets behave. When you take wrong decisions in the wrong point of time, you make a move in the wrong time, the planets are waiting to, give that kind of a result. Here the result should be good. The initiation that is happening now will be good, and because ultimately the aim of Mars is to reach Leo, the 10th house. So be very careful and tread with caution, but in a dynamic and a powerful way, because Mars is aspecting the Lagna. You'll feel the power is coming back to you. That is a great sign. So I feel that May month will be a great month for you. You'll be able to juggle with a lot of things as the energy level will be high, but in the high energy level, do not unnecessarily create situations worse in the other areas of your life which are already a little bit turbulent, because Jupiter had been long been in your 8th house. So take care, Scorpio people. Good time ahead for you. Tread with caution. Yeah. Sagittarius, Mars is starting its journey in the sign of Aries in the month of May in your 5th house. Great time for intelligence and fruitful work ahead. Some educational pursuit will take place for you. Your love matters can flourish at this point of time. If you have a progeny or you want a progeny, initiation can start at this point of time. It's a very good time for you. The fifth lord in the fifth house, planet as dynamic as Mars it is, which will give you an impetus, a boost towards the some projects that you may have to start and you were thinking of starting for a long time. So I mean, Mars in the 5th house, I feel I have seen very high intelligence is very nice, and this will help you in planning the ways that is coming forward. Obviously, Mars will be aspecting the 8th house, so you have to be cautious with your health. That is very important. That is the Nicha Drishti of Mars. Mars will be aspecting the 11th house, which is very good. The 12th house is also good because its own sign. It will give you some realization at the background also. But the 5th house Mars will give you a lot of knowledge, understanding to pave the path. Why 5th and 9th house is important is that when you are in need of something favoring you, some kind of a luck favoring you, these two houses are the the prarabdha house and the fortune house, agami karma and your last life karma. So this is very important. That's why the trikon is very important. And when the trikon lord comes into trikon for you and Leo, this is happening, it is a great time. It's a great, whatever you take a decision at this point of time will go right, will give you long term better results. Whatever you take decisions regarding your progeny will be good at this point of time in whatever areas it may be. If they are grown up people, like yesterday there had been results coming out for CBSE ICSE people and all. So I think ICSE. So these things are like, many are asking what they will be doing in the future. So these kind of decisions, educational decisions regarding progeny, regarding love matters, regarding fulfillment of things, regarding name, fame. 5th house is also name, fame. It is very important. You may do something that gives you name, fame out of the blue. So it's a blessed phase, I'll say that. 5th house is about the blessings that you have, and the blessings come from your prarabdha. Here Mars in the 5th house for 1.5 months will bless you with lot of things that you had been stacking up as a pile and you were not able to execute it. You will be blessed, so that you are now going to carry out these things in your journey forward. So good transit for you, Sagittarius people. Obviously Jupiter goes into the 8th house, that is in the beginning of June, and Saturn will be in Revati aspected by Jupiter, your 4th house. Certain things about your living area and you can also go for some change, but that I'll talk in the Saturn and Revati nakshatra, that video. Over here it's a very dynamic time that I'm seeing, in specially I'm talking about the month of May. June will have a little different flavor. As of now, let's concentrate on this month, which is have it. You can go for journeys, you can go for learnings, your progeny will do good, you can get name and fame, you can feel very intelligent, you can feel sorted, you can feel motivated. Great time, Sagittarius people. Take good care. For Capricorn ascendants, the transit of Mars in Aries in the month of May is happening in your 4th house. Now see, Capricorn people, 4th house Mars is all related to your native place, your real estate, your the place that you stay, your brothers and all these things. There Mars in the 4th house, obviously in its own sign, real estate things will be favored. Yeah, but there can be some kind of tussle at the home front, because Mars loses its digbal in the 4th house. That is a problem. Maybe you are shifting to a new location, that can happen, because Saturn is in Revati, and it will bring in some endings at different levels that I'll talk about in a new video. But here Venus is favoring you with the fifth house Venus still in the progeny area. And then it goes and forms a conjunction with Jupiter in the sixth and the seventh house. First in the sixth house, starting from this May itself. Mercury is in Taurus. Mercury first now is in Sun. Mercury is in the fourth house. Again, see, all the matters are coming from the fourth house, because all the planets are geared up from the third house, fourth house, fifth house, and then sixth house. So here it is not a great, see, there will be some initiation. Now that can be regarding some property matters, some real estate matters, some things to do with your with your siblings, with all these things it can happen. But it can go from a little worse phase also, as Mars will be reaching towards your sixth house. First, it is now the fourth house, some initiation can happen, and then it goes into the fifth house and then into the sixth house. Okay, so that's why here Capricorn, it's a tricky transit for you. It's not a very easy transit of the 11th lord and the fourth lord in the fourth house, because see, here from transit will be Mars will be aspecting the seventh house also. Seventh house aspect of Mars is not very good for partnership related things. Certain things can flare up, definitely. Also, as Mars will be aspecting the 10th house matters can see better things. 11th house matters can also see better things, because Mars is aspecting its own sign, Scorpio. The main area of concern will be your fourth house. Regarding if you are having any disputes, if you are buying something new, excellent time for that. If you are initiating something new, good time for that. The initiation can see anything. It can be a court case, it can be a property related buying or something. It will see its completion most probably this year itself. Given the kind of the kind of dasha you are having, it should see beginning and completion, if that kind of a thing is on the mind. But what I'm trying to say is that the situations are a little bit tricky at hand. It is not as easy. It's not very easy. That's the point. Especially at the home front, with the relationship front, it's not very easy, as Mars will be aspecting the seventh aspect of Mars is on the seventh aspect is good on the 10th house, but the fourth aspect is on the seventh house, which is which can create certain unnecessary emotional turmoil, because Cancer is an emotional sign, and the aspect of Mars on Cancer is not very desired. So these kind of things can happen for you. So be very careful in the way you are moving ahead, and what are the decisions you're taking. Suddenly you can feel very, because Mars, whenever it is in the Kendra, it is forming a Ruchak Panch Mahapurush Yoga. For you it is also like that. It gives a sudden impetus. Sudden, you can feel that I can do it, and let me start with it. Starting Aries Mars can do very very fast, but with the ending we be good, that needs to be asked, especially for you, the fourth Mars in Aries, because fourth house is a very comfort zone, sensitive area. So any decision regarding fourth house matters, regarding the 11th house matters, and for Mars related things should be taken with lot of caution, and being dynamic, but a little bit patience should be also inculcated in that. Do not jump into conclusions at this moment. Otherwise, great for property time, great for cars, real estates, and all these things. This is a great time to buy. Actually, if you are planning, you may take, and I think you will take in such situation, because Jupiter is also in the sixth house. It will give you a loan for that also, if that is required. So anyway, This is the transit for you, Capricorn. It is a 50-50 transit. I cannot say it's a great transit, but yes, there will be some new beginnings in certain areas of your life, definitely. Gains can be good with the Mars aspecting Scorpio, the 11th house, by the 8th aspect. Yeah. Aquarius. Aquarius, the 10th lord is coming into the third house. Now, this is a good time for you regarding 10th house matters. You may have to travel. The professional life looks dynamic over here. That's the first thing. Venus, your most important yoga karak planet, is in the fourth house, giving comfort of the home. Then it will go to the fifth house, and Jupiter will also be there. That is also good in this month only. It will. Mercury is now in the third house, making you dynamic with Sun and Mercury in the third house, and then it will go to the fourth house, which is also very good for education, for professional upliftment, for communication, for short travels, for these things are very good. And Mars will be aspecting the sixth house. If you are in any kind of competitive environment, it can give you an edge, though Mars will have a debilitated aspect in the sixth house from the third house, but still it can give you a little bit of edge. Mars aspect in the ninth house is good for journeys and all these things, and also in the 10th house. So whatever professionally you are taking up at this point of time, if there's a change, if there's a decision, there will be decision that needs to be made in your professional front, it will be good, and it will pay you off good in the later. But there is some kind of a new beginning regarding the 10th house area that I'm envisaging at this point of time for Aquarius people, and that can be change of city, that can be living a little bit far away from the place that you had been living till now. City change, the third house. Communication, some journeys you have to make. You have to be very dynamic. You are on your own. If you have a Mars Dasha, then you will have, definitely you'll have some new beginnings in the area. There is no doubt about it. For Aquarius, it's a good transit. I mean, there is nothing to complain about this transit of Mars in the third house. Mars, there can be some disputes with the sibling. That can happen. Mars gives dynamism in the third house. Purusharth is great, decision is great, communication is great, but it creates problem with the siblings. Mars in the third house, yeah, it does, though its own house, still there can be some disputes regarding some matters. Fourth house looks very good with Mercury, Sun going slowly into the fourth house in the later half of this May month, and Venus reaching Gemini, the fifth house, the Yoga Karak ninth lord into the fifth house. So all these factors are really good. There is nothing much to complain or add over here. And your Lagna lord Saturn will be reaching Revati Nakshatra from 17th of May. I'll make that video because let Jupiter go into exaltation. It will be aspecting Saturn also in Revati, the second house. There can be some monetary things that is coming out, as I told you, because the professional lord is also changing its place, and then the second lord is also going into exaltation. Some kind of a professional thing is gearing up for you if you are looking for that. I'm quite sure about it. Obviously, the dasha plays a very important thing, but this is some kind of a professional move or financial move that is coming up for you, because Jupiter is in the Artha Trikon exalted, and Mars will now come into the third house, which is a great area for Mars to take a new leap of faith, a new beginning, which is Aries. The card in tarot deck is that the Fool. Yes, so Fool is like a dynamic beginning if you follow tarot a little bit. So anyway, it's a great month. I feel you will have a very good month of May to look forward to. Hope you all the best, Aquarius people. If you had been stuck, I feel you will be now gaining momentum due to this transit of Mars, Mercury, Venus, all in good and better position. Educationally also you do very fine. So best of luck. Yeah. Pisces ascendant. Pisces people, your ninth lord Mars is moving into the second house in its own sign. Here it is a purely monetary transit for Mars. Mars in the second house is good for money, and I've seen that again and again. And some beginnings regarding your family thing, something new beginning in the family, something financial happening good for you. And because see here, Mercury and Sun will be in the third house. Buddha Ditta Yoga in the third house, first in the second house, then in the third house. You'll take some decisions also which will be good, and you will be able to carry out these decisions well. And also Venus will come into the fourth house. So, there's a change brewing up in the fourth house area, because Venus with Jupiter, Venus is the eighth lord. Wherever the eighth lord goes, it can bring in some changes in your wherever you are situated at this point of time. Then Jupiter goes into exaltation and aspects the Lagna. A much relief will be seen from the month of June. The hardships of Saturn will soften, I feel, when Jupiter enters Cancer and aspects the Lagna. Mars, Mars is your second lord itself. Second lord coming into the second house is purely because, see, Mars, one thing about in the second house is that you have to be very careful in what you speak. I think you will do that, because Sun Mercury will be in the third house, which is a good area of communication. Mars is sometimes very cutting in the second house regarding the relationship factors. Otherwise, Mars is very good in money houses, second house, 10th house, 11th house, all these houses Mars does good, and it will bring in some new beginnings regarding your financial matters also, if you have that kind of a dasha or not, because Saturn is on the Lagna and many Pisces. But see, one thing is Rahu is in the 12th house. So there are three malefics in the second house, first house, 12th house. Be careful in what you're doing, and whatever change is coming, think a little bit, because Mars initiates things very fast. In Aries, Mars is very dynamic. It's not like the Scorpio Mars. It does not give time. It is very fast forward galloping Mars, the red hot planet over here, because Aries is the youthful sign and very fast sign. So that's why it is actually it's a very good transit, and it should be a good time for you with family matters also. Not bad, because unless until you have a very rough speech, otherwise it will be a good time. Things will be taken care of, new beginnings will happen, and with the new beginnings it will give you a new impetus, because Saturn is on the Lagna. You had been feeling the pressure for a very long time, Pisces ascendant. So I feel it's a great time for you. I feel that. Hope you utilize it well, and you are able to make the most of it, because there are two things happening. In the May month, Mars is going into Aries, and in the June month, Jupiter is going into exaltation, which will help you ease down the pressure on you that has been created by Saturn on the Lagna and Rahu in the 12th house. So great time for Pisces people ahead. Hope you have a great month, May ahead. So this was the take of my Mars transit in Aries in the month of May. For later transits, I'll come up with more videos. Till then, take care, good night, and have a great dynamic month ahead, the month of May. Yeah, take care, people. Bye bye.